Are you sick of 3D renders taking days or even weeks to process? In this video, I'll show you a solution to bring your render times down from days to minutes or even seconds. Those who have been following our channels for a while know that I've been really getting deep into the world of 3D content creation. Whether it's to help describe an idea in an educational video, make some great looking content to really hook in the viewer, or to mock up a prototype of a new product before spending a single penny on materials, 3D content creation has made our work here at Present Day Production 100 times faster and more efficient. Let's find out how. Those of you who know me well will be well aware that I'm completely useless when it comes to any kind of physical handiwork. Mark and I make a great team because when it comes to physical work, that's his speciality. He's great with a saw, great at putting things together, and so on. On the other hand, when I tried to put together a desk a few months ago, it took me over an hour, and that's because I was trying to fit most of the parts upside down. Likewise, give Mark a computer and tell him to edit a video and you may receive it in a random format that's only compatible with a 1988 Amstrad computer, whereas that's my speciality. Everyone's good at their own thing, and that's where the world of 3D content creation has really transformed the way we work over the last year. Our main audio production channel has changed a lot over the last year. When making videos, I'd find any opportunity possible to stick some 3D animations into the video to challenge myself. There's a pretty clear advancement in the quality of those animations as time goes on, as I got more used to using the software and learned new techniques. Over the last 2 years, I've been learning how to use Cinema 4D, and within the last year, having that experience has meant our content can have the extra creativity throughout the videos. However, the downside to using Cinema 4D is twofold. Firstly, it's expensive, and secondly, despite having a very powerful PC with a modern graphics card, render times are still irritatingly slow. Sure, for the average quick demo render, times aren't totally insane. I may wait around 3 to 4 seconds per frame for my PC to render the video. Often an animation will take us under 10 minutes. However, when it comes to product design where photorealism and complexity is key, this is where I get slowed down. During the development phase of our speakers, over the last 10 or so months, I've been making a lot of 3D mock-ups of products, and thankfully these products, despite their complexity, aren't too taxing on my system, and getting a photorealistic 4K still image takes around 3 minutes. However, when it comes to developing truly complicated 3D designs, such as this mixing desk that I made for fun in my spare time, this is where the concept of 3D design being more efficient starts to fall apart. There are so many parts within this design that my computer just runs at a snail's pace when the project is loaded up, and the render takes a whopping 45 minutes per frame at 4K resolution, meaning that for me to render out this short video took an entire week of rendering time, 7 whole days. Now, it looks great, but that's an unfeasibly slow period of time to wait for 10 seconds of video. I needed a better solution in order to be able to achieve the designs that were in my mind without having to wait such stupidly long periods of time. Unreal Engine 5 was released last year and featured the new Lumen global illumination system, allowing for real-time rendering no matter how complex the project. And so with this, I decided to throw the technology in the deep end and see how well it could render out my 3D mixing desk at 4K. Getting the desk, which was constructed in Cinema 4D, into Unreal Engine 5 was quite the challenge, as the two softwares don't use the same coordinate system, and so parts of the build were all over the place. But eventually, using the Datasmith plugin, I was able to import an untextured mixing desk into Unreal Engine. Originally, I textured and rendered the mixing desk using my favourite render engine, Octane, within Cinema 4D. And as the materials within this render engine aren't compatible with Unreal Engine's native importer, I had to start again with texturing. Luckily, that's not so difficult in Unreal, and so I set about trying my best to accurately replicate what I had originally made in the other software. For the most part, it was relatively easy. I spent around 2 hours texturing my 3D model with no issues. The only part I struggled with was the LED ring around each knob. There are hundreds of these, and for some reason, Unreal Engine just wouldn't import the model I had for it. The knobs on the model consist of 3 parts: the skirt at the bottom, the straight central part, and the LED ring around the middle. So I had to improvise and make my own LED ring once again, but in Unreal Engine's own modeling system. I simply rescaled the central part of each knob and dragged it into place, repeating this for each model. This did take quite a long time. In total, it took me around 4 hours to totally replicate and texture my 3D model, and then around another hour or so to put the virtual studio room I made into the scene. So 5 hours to recreate the work in Unreal Engine, but infinitely quicker than the 3 weeks it took me to originally model the desk. So hopefully the 4K render export times will be fast enough to make it worth the 5 hours I've spent porting everything over to this new software. Let's test it out. Wow, I've exported what took literally an entire 7 days on Cinema 4D. My mind is blown. Not only this, but the global illumination of Unreal Engine's Lumen system looks even better and more realistic compared to the already decent looking Octane engine I was using beforehand. And the image is pretty much noise-free at 4K resolution. Sure, it required learning an entirely new software from the beginning to make it work, but it's totally worth it. My workflow nowadays consists of switching between Cinema 4D and Unreal Engine regularly. I still do most of my modeling and scene construction within Cinema 4D, then simply import the file into Unreal Engine using Datasmith to begin texturing and keyframing. This workflow allows me to have the best of both worlds: the software I've been using for years for modeling and scene composition, and the unbelievable quality and speed of Unreal Engine for the final export. I'm now no longer hindered by software and hardware integration and speed limitations. I can create as fast as my mind will go. And as I mentioned earlier, that's especially useful for us during the product development phase of our studio monitors, as I can model every aspect of the speaker in millimeter accurate precision using the software I know very well, which means I can be efficient at all times. I'm currently working on a really complex animation, something just for fun, which I estimate will take me about a month to put together. But as soon as that's finished, I will share some details on that and show just how it's benefited from this workflow on this very channel, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, then please like, subscribe, and ding the ding dong, and you'll see us in the next one.